think this is actually more serious than this particular story, but there's an 88-year-old congresswoman who is the non-voting member in Congress that represents Washington, D.C. Eleanor Norton has said, I am running. And then her office has said, we haven't decided yet whether or not she's running again. She's 88 years old. And then she went out again talking to, I believe, NBC, saying, no, I'm running. And then her office yet again said to Axios, we're not entirely sure that she's running. I think the premise of this kind of discussion, and Jen, I want to start with you here, especially with what's going on in New York City, electing a dude who I think is just being elected because, I mean, he's a socialist, but he's also just young and kind of energetic. It seems like the country is on a path and a trajectory where a lot of our politicians are aging out. What is kind of the way that conservatives can kind of capture the younger audience and promote younger people to run for office that hold conservative values? Because in so many cases, you see them entirely on the lefty side of the aisle. Obviously, Turning Point's doing what they can do. But what are your thoughts on this aging population in Congress and how conservatives can combat it?
Number one, I think that he loves to be on camera. I'm sorry. I think that more sharing actual truth. For example, with Zohran Mamdani, he spewed a bunch of lies. 80% of what he promised, he can't legally do. And I don't think Gen Z is aware of that. Majority of people that voted for him were Gen Z or progressives, which actually isn't really the Democratic Party anymore. They are this other left part of the Democratic Party that almost doesn't really like the older Democrats as well. So it's a very like unhinged group of individuals. In regards to Norton and her 88-year-old self, I mean, I think let's just at first have a cognitive test. I think everyone should in general, like maybe just check, let's just triple check. And people don't like to hang up the hat. They don't like to admit that they're done, that they're too old. It's a pride thing, an ego thing. But if it's not actually bettering your country, you gotta take the decision to sit down.
Yeah, I think what I'm hearing you say is Mam Danny promising that I can be able to fly and then pick dollar bills off the money tree might not actually happen. I
Yeah. Okay. I
well,
mean, it's not
geez.
possible. He can't do a lot of things that he promised, but people don't actually know the facts
Yeah.
or understand politics truthfully.
Seriously, well, in Priya, I'm curious about your thoughts too. Again, this is kind of a youngerish panel. I am probably way older than everybody on this panel, all two of you. But what do conservatives have to do? Obviously, like what Charlie Kirk is doing on campuses, going to campuses, and changing hearts and minds there is great. But we also need people to be able to run and convey conservative messages without just flat out lying to people. How do we do that?
Yeah, it's a difficult line to walk nowadays. I mean, to hold conservative values and to be more modern and progressive in the messaging style is a really difficult balance to find and
Totally.
maintain. But I think we're seeing it. And you know what? I think Trump is really being the catalyst for all of that. I mean, Republicans really need to take more out of President Trump's book. I get that people criticize him constantly for his outrageous and comical tweets and online posts and his unconventional communication strategies. But guess what? That works. And it
Yeah.
works because it's real. And he's saying what the large majority of Americans are thinking. And it does well. Politics it's a stage essentially, and you have to play the game. You have to be a showman to a certain extent, especially now when the news cycles go so fast. People have short attention spans now more than ever. You have to keep people engaged if you're going to make them pay attention.
Yeah, sounds like stick to the message and be unapologetic about it. Yeah, I think that's probably a pretty
Exactly.
good idea.